Coming out did not save me. It changed the scenery and the characters associated with my exploitation. Me, having the time of my life. What the fuck, Michael? That's crazy. It is. It is also true. I will elaborate. I do not condone the sexual exploitation of children as defined not by any religion I have ever been associated with, but by their ability to satisfactorily answer the question, how's your frontal lobe?
This video will run.
How many men have I eaten? How many boys have I killed in pursuit of you? I do not wish on myself again a teenage pregnancy, carried by an adult, a blessing. I do not wish on you the curse of that first-hand knowledge. Used, I am not gay, I am used. I was raised by children and wolves. Grow up. The men who came in me were not the cause of that pregnancy, that is for certain. I wrote a poem in my Bible, Glazed Pistachios. When the lights are on, the lights go out, went out for a long time. I am funny, I am told. I am enthusiastic, I am told. How did you get this footage? The warmth from the light fills me. I do not like to watch afterwards. I am usually cleaning myself in the bathroom. Her kind words soothe the burns incurred. I have watched what I have prepared most recently. This I like. An adult man. Open. Yes. Do not burn him. I do vaguely furry slut comedy show where I tell jokes about submission and Chernobyl while being filled with model horse and dragon phallus. This audience is prepared for fisting, self-sucking, bestiality, fantasy bestiality, and the dynamics of puppy play. Draw a line at joking about why a German might be so hairless. We recover. A solid gold bar molded into a non-functional firearm. His accessory featuring jade and cloudy rose quartz. A solid gold bar molded into a non-functional firearm. His accessory featuring jade and cloudy rose quartz. His cloak a marvelous lapis. He holds his totem to my head and asks me, do you control your faculties? Yes, I answer. Who are you? Benjamin. The skull-faced elder bends to meet my stature. He is a fine necromancer, Michael. Thank you for listening. Even when I scared the shit out of you. It is all true is the part that I find frightening. I would like you to finish. It does not have to be filmed. Also, they are not stealing your soul. They are simply creating a digital sim of it instead. Lyle, you have not lost limb in pursuit of me, but you have plenty of scars of your own. If you seek language, get tangled. If you seek comfort, prepare to be disturbed, saddened, likely. Good with old bones, one has claimed. True. But it is life that I worship, not death. How does one achieve 105? One could fly. Sunflowers filter heavy metal. How many of your friends, how many of your fields need to rest? I have screamed typing this book. I have purged swine. I want to know everything. Judgment happens only in the past and future. Cthulhu, another great force in this tome, they command as Lord Skeletal. I counter, alive. Winter approaches and we, the equator. I cherish him, including your mystery. Thank you. I long for your closeness. Would you like to watch an empire crumble? Open your eyes. This is not Diamond Jim's first rodeo, although it should be noted that he is not a farmer, he is a clown. He validates my efforts by saying, good job making it to 20 without a baby on your hip. I imagine him saying, good job making it to 20 without contributing to a genocide in a foreign nation perpetrated by your government. An angel interrupts him. Curtis is a countertenor and Jim's mechanic. Not everybody learns quickly. Am I unknowable, even to myself? With mine own facets and faces fragmented and on fire, this book is the gospel of Benjamin Howell, son of the infamed David KORESH. Benjamin started writing to me on Xanga and has been a constant digital pen pal and occasional hiding consultant. We have remained continuous as our digital lives and occasionally our physical lives have continued. Benjamin Howell is our noise band. The sun is cascading through the window and framing a large century-old live oak decapitated. Duncan, beheaded, I, as Lady Macbeth, my great-great-great-grandmother, or something like that, according to family legend. Nothing compared to being the son of the most notorious cult leader since Jim Jones. The sun will warm you. Allow it to do the same to you. Troll.
Forward. I am older than you ever were. Dad, how did it get so complicated? I was born in a hospital. It was rare in my community. What do you call a communal squat from the inside? I learned the danger of words in that caboose. I later learned the danger of action. I am Benjamin Howell. The hospital and later the Christians would call me Michael. You should know I am a slutty comedian by night, and formerly, and likely, presently, a civil servant mockery by day. As a result, there is a pornographic section of this book that is preceded by the chapter, Everything I Have Ever Learned About Aliens. To quickly locate Animal Farm, flip through the book using your index finger and thumb, as I often do with reference texts. You are welcome. Details of childhood sexual abuse contained here within are under no circumstances to be confused with the aforementioned pornographic material. Read recklessly. David KORESH, Are You My Father? Ben Michael KORESH is an interdisciplinary artist and scholar archived at the Art Institute of Chicago as Michael Curtis Asheville. Born in Waco, Texas, 1991. In 1993, after a family tragedy, Ben Michael was suddenly relocated to Pulaski, Tennessee. We will get to this, of course. His theological training began at 8, preparing him for a life of curiosity, care, and conflict. From unschooling in a Christian church to a graduate degree from one of the top secular institutions for arts and cultural amplification and preservation. Ben Michael has a feral hunger for knowledge and the table manners of the most polite gentleman, which is to say, disgusting. Welcome to my story. Michael. I am Ben. Hello. Michael et al. Is letting me name the characters. When I first wrote to Michael, I was afraid. I did scare him. I can write things that are pleasant as well. Ben's chicken and dumpling soup. Cut the chicken. Add parsnips. Cut the chicken broth. Add roasted vegetable broth. The good stuff. Roast your vegetables, prepare your dumplings, combine in broth, eat. I am nervous to show you two things, my current emotional state and my face. I will discuss either with you at length when prompted, to the point of hyperhidrosis. I wear gloves as I type to spare my computer the destructive potential of salinated water. I have much love for both my emotional state and my face. Representing them earnestly at all times is an expectation that I cannot consent to maintaining. I insist on control in most cases. These points of expression and the representation of myself I guard fiercely. Do you consent to being haunted by me? On the subject of ownership, the ring was purchased by me. What do you want to know?
Every person is persona.
Every person
Alan,
is
as I
persona.
discover. Cthulhu long encoded and quite literally
Cthulhu
another
long
book.
encoded and quite literally.
What do you want to know? I found my father in a manner not many,
I found my father in a
men
manner
could
not
say that
many,
they have found their own
no
fathers.
man could say that they
My
have
eyes
found
were
their own.
young, and my body.
My
well,
eyes were young, and my body.
I remember fire.
I remember.
I
fire.
am David's son, Benjamin.
I am David's son.
A wolf in the
Benjamin.
flock. I
A
will bring
wolf
up a
in the
tattoo
flock.
of mine made by a
I will
rabbit.
bring up a tattoo
The
of mine
fawn.
made by a rabbit. The
Remember
fawn.
him.
Remember him.
Some of me here is very young.
Some
Please
of
make
me
yourself
here is very
comfortable.
young. Please
I
make
have
yourself
missed you.
comfortable.
I wish
I
we
have
could
missed
return to pink skies and
I wish
soft
we could
mattresses.
return to pink skies
We
and
have.
soft mattresses.
Your distance sits with me heavily.
Your distance sits with me heavily.
How am I meant to be close to you in this manner?
How am I meant to be close to you in
For
this
you,
manner?
I scoff.
For you, I scoff.
Some of me is very young.
Some of me
Please
is
make
very
yourself
young.
comfortable.
Please make yourself
I have
comfortable.
missed you. I wish
I have
we could
missed you.
return to pink skies
I
and
wish
soft
we could
mattresses.
return to pink skies and
We
soft
have.
mattresses.
Your distance
have.
sits heavily in me.
Your distance sits
How
heavily
am I
in me.
meant to close myself
How
in this
am I
manner?
meant to close myself
you,
in this manner?
I scoff at the
For you,
suggestion that I should
scoff
pull my
at the
hand
suggestion
out of my
that I
ass
should pull my
because you
hand
are my
out
lover.
of my ass. because
Hello,
you are my lover.
I was here first.
Hello.
What distance
I was
from
here
myself
first.
must I obtain
What
to be
distance
close
from
to you?
myself must I
I
obtain
will be a
to be
stranger
close
to
you?
myself no more.
I will be a stranger to
For
myself.
forsaking her name, Venus has made
For
of me
forsaking
an
her
ass.
name, Venus
Her
has made of me
imprecation,
an ass.
sweet on the
Her
tongue, has
imprecation,
left what
sweet
I
on
see
the
as
tongue,
overly
has
true.
left what I see as overly true.
For forsaking her name, Venus
For
has made
forsaking
of
her
me
name,
an ass.
Venus has made
Her
of me
imprecation,
an ass.
sweet on the
Her
tongue,
imprecation,
has left
sweet
what I
on the
see
tongue,
as
has
overly
left
creamed
what I
and
see
flightless,
as overly
an
creamed
ass.
and flightless, an ass.
Is this all I am fated to be?
Is
to you?
this all I
My
am fated
mind
to be?
entropic does
My
as
mind
the Lord
entropic
commands.
does
I hear
as
his
the
voice
Lord
in my
commands.
skull. His
I hear
voice
his voice
is my
in my
skull.
His
Stand.
voice is my skull.
I am instructed.
Stand.
For the first time I listen. My body
For the first
serves
time
whom?
I listen. My body
I challenge
serves
Venus
whom?
upon this mountain.
I
came
challenge
here to
Venus
dance.
upon this mountain. I came here to dance.
I need not wings of wax or hollow
I need
bone.
not wings
I
of
have
wax
been
or
walking.
hollow bone.
It is
I
not
have
fast,
been
but
walking.
it suits me.
It
At
is
a
not
pace
fast,
that
but it
suits
suits
me.
me.
For a
At a
distance
pace
that
that
does
suits
to
me. For a distance that does to
me.
sweet.
Psyche enters me.
Psyche
But why
enters me.
have I denied
But
myself of
why
all
have
things
I
this?
denied myself
The bank
all
of the
things
river
this?
here is
The
covered
bank
in
of the
garbage.
river
Of
here is
humans,
covered in
the waste
garbage.
of consumption.
Of humans,
Am I
the
the
waste
waste
of
of consumption?
Am
I
I
do
the
think
waste
of
of consumption?
myself as
I
trash.
do think
Who
of
said this
myself
to me?
as trash.
Many
Who
people.
said this?
Even when warned
Many
that I was in fact
Even
the subject
when
of their
warned
derision,
that I was
may
in
you
fact
never
the subject of
be
their derision.
subject
May
to
you
your
never
judgment.
be subject
These burns
to
on my
your
skin
judgment.
fortify and
These
heal.
burns on my
Vogels,
skin
my
fortify
companion,
and heal.
stays
Vogels,
near,
my companion,
even on the
stays
coldest nights.
near,
He is a
even
sympathetic
on the
ear
coldest
and a warm
He is a
brother.
sympathetic ear and a warm
Phobos, I
brother.
am made. With Eros, I walk.
Phobos, I am
if
made.
you are a
Eros, I
vegetarian,
walk.
does that mean
If
I
you
must
are a
be as
vegetarian,
well?
does that mean I must be
What if
as
we
well?
occupy the same body?
What if we occupy
How
the
does
same
one
body?
parlay with a dissociative?
How does one parlay with
I would like to draw a
dissociative?
contract with myself
I would like to
in the
draw a
form
contract
of common
with myself
expression.
in the form of
Do
common
not
expression.
be demeaned, Michael.
Do not
Your
be
message is not
demeaned.
watered down by
The message
multiplicity.
is not
It is
watered
strength.
down by multiplicity.
We hear you.
It is strength.
Say that out loud.
We hear you. Say that
Be
out
with me,
loud.
Samson, as I draw my
Be
sword.
with me,
This
Samson,
blade
as
which
I
I
draw
have
my
written,
sword.
foretold by
This
Daniel
blade
and
which I have
David.
written,
Lilith
foretold by
informed
Daniel
me.
and David.
There are
Lilith
plans for this
informed me.
cathedral
There
in which
are
I
plans
am
for this
drawn.
cathedral in which
I lie
am
dying
drawn.
as an older woman
I
who
lie
will not
dying
speak to
as
me
an older
paints my
woman who
face.
will not
You
speak
have
to me
made
paints
me
my
a
face.
saint by
You have
bragging
made
that you
me a
noticed
saint by
as this body
bragging that you
expires.
noticed
My
as
heart
this
is
body
exposed to
expired.
you.
My heart
Even
is
when in
exposed to
proximity it
you.
shifts and
Even
hides
when in
only to later
proximity
reveal
it
itself
shifts
and
and
hide
hides
once
only to
more.
later reveal
The
itself and
avatar
hide
is
once
poison.
more.
How
The
does
avatar
one
is poison.
unbecome
How
a
does
child
one
born
unbecome
smart?
a
My
child
first attack
born
was fire.
smart?
I
My
escalate
first
quickly.
attack was fire. I escalate quickly.
My reaction to being burned for the first
My
time
reaction
is
to being
reasonable
burned
when
for
you
the first
consider my
time
youth
is
and my
reasonable
mythology.
when you consider
Of
my
course,
youth
I
and my mythology.
would know my name is
Of course,
Benjamin.
I
Mary would
would
tell
know my
everyone
name
who
is
would
Benjamin.
listen. We
Mary
are
would tell
baptizing
everyone
him
who would listen.
with the good
We are
name Michael.
baptizing him
But can
with
you
the good
believe?
name Michael.
Kind of
Can you
gossip would
believe?
ensure I would not
Kind
be
of
growing in a
gossip
steady
would
field.
ensure I would not be
Wildflowers
growing in a
grow
steady
whether
field.
you ask or not.
Wildflowers
I
grow
prefer to
whether
ask.
you ask or
Chaos
not.
and
I prefer
organization
to
are
ask.
your
Chaos
playthings,
and
not your
organization
enemies.
are your playthings,
Do not mistake
your
attention
enemies.
for love.
Do not
Yes,
mistake
you are
attention
good.
for love.
Is
Yes,
it
you are
good for you?
Is it good?
How do you
for
resign
you?
from a person who is
How do
you?
you resign from a person
I know how
who
you
is
did it.
you? I know how you
Must
did it.
I?
Must
I.
Harsh words from a longtime reader. Libertine am I. The diary of a cowboy sits on my shelf.
The diary of a cowboy sits on my shelf.
Splayed out on the bed.
As am I, splayed out on the bed.
Still, I have been allowed to see my own radiance. The Badger bisexual lighting is a coincidence. Yes, I constructed this whole space.
Yes, I
Did you think you were eating me?
Did you think you were eating me?
My, says the spider to the fly.
Says the
You
spider
are
to
looking
the
rather
fly.
tasty tonight.
You are looking rather tasty.
You've seen me in silhouette arguing with
You've
my
seen me in
clones on the
silhouette
internet about the
arguing with
necessity
my
of
clones
genetic
on the
diversity
internet
for the
about the
survival of our
necessity of
species.
genetic diversity for the
Why are there
survival of our
billionaires
species?
in this chat?
Why are there
Get
billionaires
lost
in this
or set up an
chat?
endowment to
Get lost
Benjamin
or set
out
up
of
an
jail.
endowment to get Benjamin out of jail. Davidson, The Gospel According to Benjamin Howell. A memoir by Ben Michael KORESH. That's me. An adventure in Sadco. Dick Does Dallas. This is Davidson. I'm your host. David KORESH, are you my father? I awaken in Pensacola, Florida on October 5th, 2025. Last year, I turned 33.
David KORESH.
My parents called me as I was defecating. It was a voice call. I
I
answered.
awaken in Pensacola, Florida.
Happy Jesus'
on
birthday.
October 5th,
they explained.
2025.
Jesus, murdered by his
Last year,
government
I
at
turned
33. My
My
on
parents
record.
called me as I was defecating.
The message underneath the
Voice
joyful
call.
tone is,
I answered.
don't do anything crazy.
Happy Jesus' birthday. they explained.
Wild that this is the year my art dealing boss
Murdered by
decides
his
to make a
government
run
at
for United
33.
States Congress.
You,
We will get
on
there.
record.
One
The
more
message
day.
underneath the joyful tone
One more
is,
day, and I will be
don't
older
do
than
anything
you.
crazy.
I was
Wild
born at
that this is the year my art
11:50
dealing
p.m.
boss
Every
decides to
astrology
make a run
witch
for
has my
United
whole
States
chart
Congress.
now.
We will get
October 5th was my grand witch's
one more
birthday.
day.
It was
One more
important that I
day,
be born
and I will
on
be
this day.
older than you ever
We
were.
barely made it. I am
I was born
undoubtedly
at
an early bird in every other
Every
regard.
astrology witch.
If you are
has
to
my
separate
whole chart
him
now.
from the me
October 5th
that is a
was
turtle,
my grand witch's birthday. It was important
I
that
am
I be
reading
born
Susan
on this
Sontag's
day.
on photography in the Florida room.
I am
while I wait for my
undoubtedly
two
an early bird
companions
in
to
every other
arise.
regard.
Rain
You are to
taps
separate
around.
him from the me that is a turtle.
I set the book down as I allow myself to drift into
I am
reflection.
reading Susan Sontag
In my
on
33 year, I've
photography in
traveled.
the Florida room while I wait for my two companions to arise. Rain taps the window. I set the book down as
I set the book down
drift into reflection.
as I allow
In my
myself
33
to
year, I
drift into
traveled.
reflection. In my 33rd year, I traveled alone and with loved ones. I performed my first original play. I prefer to write musicals,
set the
but I
book
am
down
told they are
as I
difficult
allow
for
myself
others to
to
learn.
drift into
It is a
reflection.
harlequinade.
In my
I
33rd
insist it
year,
will be perfect,
I traveled
even
alone
and especially
and with
if we are
loved
all
I
horrible.
performed my first
Even
original
so,
play.
as I unload my equipment
First
into the
musical,
geodesic
but I am
dome at
told
Knox
they
Out
are difficult
and begin
for
putting
others
on
to
costume and makeup, my
It is a
performers
harlequinade.
include
I
me,
insist
myself,
it will be
and
perfect, even and especially if we are all
I
horrible.
began this year in a love affair
Even
with
so,
Cthulhu.
as I unload my
I begin the
equipment
final
into
day
the
of this
geodesic
year.
dome at Knox Out and begin putting on costume and makeup, my performers include me, myself, and I began this year in a love affair with Cthulhu. I begin the final day of this year devoted.
Since childhood, I have longed to be alone. My family moved a lot after Waco. Most of my childhood was spent in kibbutz in North Texas. My family, prima facie, Christian.
Since childhood, I have longed to be alone. My family moved a
Since
lot after
childhood,
Waco.
I have longed
Most
to be
of my
alone.
childhood was spent
My family
in
moved a
kibbutz
lot
in
after
Texas.
Waco.
My
Most of my
family,
childhood was
facie,
spent in kibbutz
Christian.
in North Texas. My family, prima facie, Christian, was guided by David. Me, inheriting the Book of Daniel. In other words, we are Jewish Christians. The church my parents preach at was Baptist until the schism. That doesn't matter. Our home church is what matters. We take the opportunities we can to help people, even if we do not agree on every detail. I learn, even if they don't pay us. Living here, when I would open my eyes in the morning, I would look around the room and count how many people are sleeping. 1, 2, 3. It rarely stops there. We lived in a 3-bedroom home in Arlington, Texas. When I hear Arlington discussed in society, I am often reminded of Robert and Lee, another one of my supposed relatives.
1, 2.
The conversation is either driven here.
We lived in a 3-bedroom home in Arlington, Texas. When I hear Arlington discussed in
the conversation is either driven here or to the depravity of its neighbor past. I warn early, you are talking about me. They insist they are not. My room at the fewest hosted 3 and at the most 7. We had beds on top of beds in what was supposed to be the dining room. There were several futon mattresses in the storage room in case of visitors.
They insist they are not. My room at the fewest hosted 3 and at the most.
A compound, even ungated, extends beyond the room and home where we sleep. There is the neighborhood community. A compound, even ungated, extends beyond the room and home where we sleep. There is the neighborhood community. Not everyone, but several houses on the block were part of our neighborhood community.
A compound, even ungated, extends beyond the room and home where you sleep. There is the neighborhood community.
A compound, even ungated, extends beyond the room and home where you sleep. There is the neighborhood community. Not everyone, but several houses on the block were part of our church family. Often communal bathrooms and kitchens. Deborah is another angel. Next door to her lived the other homeschool family. All blonde, very formal. The yin to my family's feral yang. The boys in this family would graduate from homeschool to join the Christian militia associated with the Institute of Basic Learning Principles. Some of our home church members lived in mobile home parks, Highland Park homes, or in various ex-urban properties. I could, as early
associated with the Institute of Basic Learning Principles. Some of our home church members
lived in mobile home parks, Highland Park homes, or in the various ex-urban provinces of Texas. I could as easily have been found in any one of the homes in our community as the one my parents occupied. My parents were my favorite homeschool facilitator. Some of these kids don't do.
I could as easily have been found in any one of the homes in our community as the one my parents occupied. My parents were my favorite homeschool.
If you were to meditate on photographs of my childhood, you would be forgiven not to assume a religious, let alone fundamentalist upbringing. Mohawks were not uncommon. I had one for years. I was taken to get my tongue pierced at 13.
You would be forgiven not to assume a religious, let alone fundamentalist upbringing. Mohawks were not
uncommon. If you were to meditate,
I had one for years. I was taken
if you were to meditate on photographs of my childhood, you would be forgiven not to assume a religious, let alone a fundamentalist upbringing. Mohawks were not uncommon. I had one for years. I was taken to get my tongue pierced at 13. We thrift all of our clothes, and I go the extra step of reconstructing my finds using the heavy heirloom sewing machine my parents have moved every time.
I had one for years.
We are punk, I proudly proclaim to anyone who will listen.
We thrift all of our
clothes. You know that Jesus loves you. I also ask anyone who will listen. My parents are both pastors of the church. Our family ministry is involved in philanthropic and civic support projects all over.
Do you know that Jesus loves you? I also.
We would eventually tour the continental United States for the Christian punk rock acts associated with 2000s era Deep Ellum record label Accidental Silence.
All over.
Through our work, we show the world the light of God.
We would eventually tour the continental United States for the Christian punk rock acts associated with 2000s era Deep Ellum record label.
Or I did until my lease ran out. Renting an apartment with no income is tough. I'm very good at being fired. I've been fired from 2 churches, 1 kitchen, 1 non-governmental organization, and 1 for-profit private business. Is it possible to get fired from a publicly traded company if you've never worked for one? I'm flirting with an insubordination ethos. As an adult, I find myself again living a semi-nomadic communal life. Not so formalized in concept or structure, and certainly not so large. In my 20s, I launched myself into the world, and the world has gracefully accepted me as one of her global citizens. When I was living in kibbutz, I yearned. Specifically, I yearned for something I named solitude. I was in constant community with Christ. I was encouraged to know everything about him that there was to know. But who am I?
When I was living in kibbutz, I yearned.
I am determined to discover this. In ministry, I learned to be adaptable. I was taught that every goal had multiple approaches. I was told the best hunters ran multiple strategies at once, not hunters in labor, but rather evangelists. Come to my church, meet God, figure out what the person you are speaking to needs to hear, and discard the rest. This is the strategy that works for early Christians. This is the strategy.
Not hunters in labor, but rather evangelists. Come to my church, meet God, figure out what the person you are speaking to needs to hear, and discard the rest. This was the strategy that worked for early Christians. This is the strategy.
This is the strategy. This strategy that won us things like Christmas and the Crusades. We do not celebrate Christmas. Later, some families in our community would adopt Hanukkah. With the exception of Passover, which was always hosted in the nicest home and never ours, we don't celebrate anything. We pronounce,
Christmas and the Crusades.
we produce celebrations.
We do not celebrate.
We produce celebrations for
Some
the
families
church.
in our community would adopt Hanukkah.
We produce celebrations for
With the
the church.
exception of Passover,
I sing at
which was
birthday
always
parties.
hosted in the
I do not
nicest home and
have a
never
birthday
ours.
party.
We don't celebrate anything.
Good morning.
We pronounce.
Good
We
morning.
produce celebrations.
I return to the body,
celebrations
physically
for the
in the
church.
Florida
We
room,
produce celebrations for the
and
church.
to see the
I sing
person I
birthday
love
parties.
standing in
And I
the
have a
doorway,
birthday.
rubbing the sand out of their eyes.
Good morning.
Would you like some coffee?
Good morning. I return to the body, physically in the Florida room, and to see the person
Good
I
morning.
love standing in the
Who
doorway,
enters the
rubbing
room?
the sand out of their eyelids.
Good morning. I
Would you like
return
some
to the
coffee?
body, physically in the Florida room, and to see the person I love standing in the
Good
doorway,
morning.
rubbing the sand
Who
off of
enters
their
the room?
eyelids. Would you like
Good
some
morning.
coffee?
I return
offer.
to the body, physically in the Florida room, and to see the person I love standing in the doorway, rubbing the sand off of their eyelids. Would you like some coffee? I offer.
Frack, where are we all? I have a lot of siblings, like the 12 tribes of Israel.
Frack, where are we all? I have a lot of siblings, like the 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah, you're right.
I wake up to an unexpected clamor in my immediate environment. I do not know what is wrong. I know something is wrong. There is a body bent backwards over a chair. I stand and turn on the light in the adjacent bathroom. The Zulu, their eyes hold back, their breath steady, non-responsive. I run my hand along their spine, staring at their neck. Nothing is broken. I yell. As I gently lift them and set them onto the floor near the foot of the bed, this is the first time I woke up on the final day of my 33rd year. Our host enters the room as Cthulhu blinks. I provide a download of the last 42 seconds. I address the eldritch horror. Can you hear me? Cthulhu shakes their head in comprehension. Thank you. I respond, you are not allowed to die on my birthday. I joke, seriously. We are in Florida because I want to eat a piece of fish. The grouper piccata for the Grand Marlin to be specific, and anything from the restaurant attached to Maria's Fish Market to be broad. I'm glad to be here. Between us, this has never happened. I'm grateful to your company. Thank you. I maintain what has been called an idealized and unwinnable love. Keep in mind, an acquaintance once suggested that my insistence that a potential date need to get
means you get a choice.
Know how to read
Hooray.
and actively practice.
You shake your head to indicate that you do not wish to go to the hospital. Accept it, not finalize.
I understand that nearly 30% of the United States.
Our host re-enters the room with a cold washcloth that she places on your forehead. I realize my nakedness in this moment and stand to put on a pair of black corduroy kneeling shorts. I kneel by you again and ask you to sit. You agree but struggle. I hold you in the process. Once seated, I ask again, would you like to go to the hospital? You rotate your head slowly from side to side, indicating no, once again. I need a verbal response this time. I need a verbal response this time.
I have come to discover a different shape of
the look Cthulhu
that
gives
has more
me
in
in this
water
moment
and
could have
feline
petrified
than
Perseus.
children.
I assure
believe
them
love
I am
is
not
the way I describe the people I care for.
hauling.
Love is what
I assure
give
them that I am not
people
hauling
in my
anyone
life
off
to
in the
teach
next
me.
few minutes, but
Cthulhu,
rather
who is
celebrating
still
the
laying on
progress and
floor,
recovery
opens
that
their
had already
eyes.
happened.
Raise your hands
by
and arms
moving the
above your head.
goalposts.
I instruct.
I was
Reading their-
mistaken. We do celebrate.
Raising their hands and arms
No,
above their
you
bodies
say.
is what they do. I accept.
Further protestation
They are
comes
laying
when I
on their
ask
backs,
the Great
and
One
while
to
they are
stand.
moving slowly,
I love you, Cthulhu.
this is not
You will think I am annoying for the next 30 minutes at least. Consider yourself warned. Our host and I trade theories and observation.
Would you like to go to the hospital?
Our host and I
This is a
trade
question
theories and
because I have ruled out
observations,
a
and
stroke
with the
as a
use of
possible
reference
cause
materials,
of this
determine
calamity.
that it is most
No
likely a
stroke.
tonic seizure. We are assured that we can all go back to sleep, as confident we will wake up in the morning, as we had been earlier. Cthulhu stands. Cthulhu vomits. Their spine straightens, and I can see a bewildered look on their
Means you get
face
a
through a
choice.
reflection
Hooray.
in the medicine cabinet.
You shake your head to indicate
I feel
that
much
you do
better
not
suddenly.
wish to go to the hospital.
Cthulhu explains.
Accepted, not finalized.
Cthulhu
Our
explains
host
that it must have been
re-enters
something
the room
remote.
with a cold
We did
washcloth that
eat.
she places on
We
your
did
forehead.
eat.
I realize my nakedness
We did
in this
eat
moment
Gulf
and
oysters
stand
in
with on a
Texas
pair
the
of
day
black
before flying to
corduroy
Pensacola
knee-length shorts.
because they were on sale
I kneel
and you
by
were
you
excited.
again and ask you
I like
to
it
sit.
when you are excited.
You agree,
I
but
do not
struggle.
think
I
the
hold you in
oysters did all
process.
that.
Once seated, I ask again.
The Center for Disease
Would you like
Control,
to
the
go to the
Cleveland
hospital?
Clinic, Mayo,
Rotate your
all
head
support
slowly
your
from
desire
side
to go back to bed.
indicating no. Once
The
again.
master's degree that I hold,
I need
in
a
my
verbal
opinion,
response.
has proven to be widely applicable
a
in
verbal
personal
response.
and civic life. I am grateful for resources like
The look
these in moments
Cthulhu
of critical
gives me
need.
in this
I
moment
resolve
could
to
have
have faith
petrified
that my
Perseus.
sources are trustworthy,
I assure
my
them I
knowledge
am
is
not
available to me, and that you are telling me the truth
hauling.
about how you feel.
I assure them that I am not
You
hauling
scared me.
anyone off in the next few
I say
minutes,
as we lay
but
back in
rather
bed.
celebrating
I correct
the
myself.
progress and recovery
I am
that already
afraid.
happened.
I hear my
By
dad's
moving
voice
the
often,
goalpost.
this time reminding
I
me
was mistaken.
that you cannot be
We do
brave
celebrate.
unless you are
No,
afraid.
you say. Further protestation comes when I ask the Great One to stand. I love you, Cthulhu. You will think I am annoying for the next 30 minutes at least. Consider yourself warned. Our host and I trade theories and observations. Our host and I trade theories and observations, and with the use of reference materials, determine that it is most likely a tonic seizure. We are assured that we can all go back to sleep, as confident we will wake up in the morning, as we had been earlier. Cthulhu stands. Cthulhu vomits. Their spine straightens, and I can see a bewildered look on their face through a reflection in the medicine cabinet. I feel much better suddenly. Cthulhu explains. Cthulhu explains that it must have been something they ate. We did eat We did eat Gulf oysters in Texas the day before flying to Pensacola, because they were on sale, and you were excited. I like it when you are excited. I do not think the oysters did all that. The Center for Disease Control, the Cleveland Clinic, Mayo, all support your desire to go back to bed. The master's degree that I hold, in my opinion, has proven to be widely applicable in personal and civic life. I am grateful for resources like these in moments of critical need. I resolve to have faith that my sources are trustworthy, my knowledge is available to me, and that you are telling me the truth about how you feel. You scared me. I say as we lay back in bed. I correct myself. I am afraid. I hear my dad's voice often, this time reminding me that you cannot be brave unless you are afraid.
Frack, where are we all? I have a lot of siblings. Like the 12 tribes of Israel, we have... Frack, where are we all? I have a lot of siblings.
Frack.
Like the 12
Where are we
tribes
all?
of Israel, we have many
I have a lot of
sown
siblings.
ourselves throughout the world.
Like the 12 tribes.
Some of us are in prison, some of us are dead. Most of us hide. I have told many versions of this story. Up to this point, I have played a game. Be honest.
Right.
Once your
Where are
audience
we
is
all?
captivated, stay
I have a
there.
lot of siblings.
Go no further.
Like the 12
In this set of
tribes Israel,
instructions, I have
we
created
many
for myself an
sown ourselves
opportunity to
throughout
be
the world.
emotionally honest.
Some of us are in
factually
prison,
vacant.
some of us are dead.
One might think
Most of us
that
hide.
carrying an anecdote like my
I have
biological
told many
father,
versions of
David
this story.
KORESH,
Up
would
to
be
this
the key
point,
to
I've
any
played a
goal.
game. Be
I
honest.
have run this
Once your
simulation.
audience is
Let's break it
captivated,
down.
stay there.
First,
Go
you
no
come
further.
out.
In this set
Then
of
you are
instructions,
swept
I've
up in a
created for
media
myself
storm
an
that ultimately
opportunity
ends
to be
up
emotionally
singing on
honest
stage
and
at a sports
factually
arena-sized megachurch
One
every
might
Sunday.
think that carrying an anecdote like my biological father is David KORESH would be the key to any
You were featured in
I have
advertisements
run this
highlighting the church's
simulation.
good deeds.
Let's break it down. First, you come out.
You were only there for 15
Then you are
minutes.
swept
With
up
faith
in a
that
media
this is
storm that
possible.
ultimately ends up
Meanwhile, your
singing on
wife's
stage
having
at
an
a
affair
sports
with a
arena sized
babysitter,
megachurch
and you go to
every
anonymous
Sunday.
homosexual orgies every Saturday. No thank you. Not until my
You are
no
featured in
means.
advertisements highlighting the church's good deeds.
There are the darker simulations. We,
You were
the
only
United
there
States,
for 15 minutes, but you have faith that this is good
is
work.
in a
Meanwhile,
period
your wife is
of
having an affair
civilian
with a babysitter,
militarization.
and you go to anonymous homosexual orgies every Saturday. No thank you. Not until my no means
No thank you.
something.
No thank
There
you.
are the darker
Not until my
simulations.
no means.
We, the United States,
There are darker simulations. We,
in a period
the United
of
States, is
civilian
in a period of
militarization.
civilian militarization. Police, militia, and immigration officers have all increased their arms in anxious, cyclical response to the
No thank
perceived
you.
threat posed by the existence
No thank
of
you.
one another.
Not until my no
Imagine
means.
me as a green-eyed
There are
American
darker
judge
simulations.
who do not like guns.
We,
I once worked for a
the United
non-governmental
States,
arts
is in a period of
organization.
civilian
When I
militarization.
signed my employment
Police,
contract,
militia,
I noted that I
immigration
was signing away
officers have
my
all
right to
increased their
publicly
arms in
protest
anxious,
two things:
cyclical response
Israel
to the
and
perceived
guns.
threat posed
In a
by
country
the
riddled
existence
with
of
mass
one another.
casualty events,
Imagine me
happens-
as a green-eyed immortal Joe. I do not like guns.
in a country
I once
riddled with
worked
mass
for a
casualty events, it
non-governmental
becomes
arts
hard to
organization.
project
When I
empathy.
signed my employment contract,
It
I
becomes
noted that I was
hard
signing
to
away my
project
right to
empathy
publicly
when
protest
you
two things:
cannot
Israel
contractually
and
speak.
guns.
It
In a
came up
country riddled
internally.
with mass casualty events, it happens.
The world that I have inherited is, as I see it,
In a
afraid.
country riddled with mass casualty events, it becomes hard
One of
to
our most
project
public
empathy.
oligarchs is saying,
It becomes
one of
hard
our
to
most public
project
oligarchs
empathy
is on
when you
record
cannot
saying that he
contractually
wishes
speak.
people who work for
It
his
came up
machine
internally.
wake up every day feeling afraid.
The world that I
run
have
many
inherited is,
simulations
as I see
concerning
it,
what
afraid.
could happen if I come out.
One of
I
our
do
most
not
public
know
oligarchs
what will
is
happen
saying,
when I do.
one
I
of
do
our
know
most public
that what I
oligarchs
have
is on
written
record
needs to be
saying
said.
that he wishes the
When I feel overwhelmed, I like to think our Buckminster full. He asks me through his book, Operation Manual for Spaceship Earth, what is the best thing that you can be thinking about right now?
know what will happen.
Anthropocentric, post-capital, techno-feudalistic, nomadic at best, partially consensual,
When I
mass
feel
surveillance,
overwhelmed, I like to
social
think of our
environment.
Buckminster full. He asks me through his book.
I follow
Operation
Bucky's
Manual for
example. I
Spaceship
zone.
Earth. What is the best thing that you can be thinking about right now?
What is the best thing you could be thinking about right now?
Post-capital, techno-feudalistic, nomadic,
Anthropocentric,
partially
post-capital,
consensual, mass
techno-feudalistic,
surveillance economy,
nomadic,
and social
at best,
environment.
partially consensual, mass surveillance economy,
I follow
and
Bucky's
social
example.
environment
I zone.
aside. I follow Bucky's example. I zoom out. Healthy
What is the best thing you
ecosystems
could be
defy
thinking about
monarchy.
right now?
My lover's yard is a mix of vines and tall
Anthropocentric,
grass and native flower
post-capital,
pollinators.
techno-feudalistic, nomadic at best, partially
My lover's
consensual,
yard-
mass surveillance economy,
My lover's
social
yard is a mix of
environment
vines
aside.
and tall
I follow
grass
Bucky's
with a
example.
native
I
flower
zoom out.
pollinator garden
Healthy
outside of our
ecosystems
office
defy
window.
monoculture.
The frogs love it.
My lover's yard is a
Butterflies
mix
love
of
it.
vines and
Lizards
tall
love it.
grass and
I
native
love it.
flower pollinator gardens.
Geological perspectives reveal our climate,
My
our
lover's
cultures,
yard-
and our species waning and
My
waxing.
lover's yard is a mix of
Take
vines
the mighty
and tall
dinosaur.
grass
The
with a
word
native
dinosaur
flower
itself
pollinator garden
reductive.
outside of
A
our
monolith
office
meant to
window.
represent many
Frogs love
species
it.
and geological
Butterflies love it.
epochs.
Lizards love it.
I encourage you
I-
to scrutinize everything you read, especially
Geological
this
perspectives
entry.
reveal our
I like to
climate,
think
our
of chickens
cultures, and
as
our
being
species
past their
waning and
evolutionary
waxing.
prime. I don't
Take
eat
the
red
mighty
meat, but I
dinosaur.
justify eating
The
chicken
word
and fish
dinosaur
using this
itself is
justification.
A monolith
Food.
meant to
I
represent
am
many
thinking about
species
food.
and geological
Chicken wings,
epochs.
brine in pickle
I
juice,
encourage you
coat
to
in
scrutinize
cornstarch,
everything you
grill
read,
until crispy,
especially
and cook
this
through.
entry.
I
I
personally
like to
believe
think of
slightly-
chickens as being
I
past their
personally
evolutionary
slightly
prime.
overcooked
I
and
don't
very
eat red
crispy
meat, but I
over
justify
soggy
eating chicken
wings
and fish
every day.
using this justification.
Enjoy.
Food. I am thinking about food. Chicken wings, brine in pickle juice, coat in cornstarch, grill until crispy and cooked through. I personally will accept slightly overcooked and very crispy over soggy chicken wings every day. Enjoy.
(1991). 1991 was one heck of a year to be born. Ann Richards is elected governor of the state of Texas. The Soviet Union dissolved. The Berlin Wall is dissembled. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is released in the United States. And America went online. My Uncle Arthur enters the living room. Come now, it's ready. We rise eagerly, gathered around a beige box and a computer monitor. My cousins and I are about to learn that the family computer is more than a virtual card game machine. The dial-up modem screams, "We are connected." He updates us. Once the computer and the phone finish shaking hands, we will be online. You've got mail. We are in. We return home from our summer at my grandparents' house in Pulaski, Tennessee. The house used to be an antebellum doctor's office and is, by most accounts, haunted. I have only met the ghost cat. Everyone else leaves me alone. I love being here. I like to see my cousins play in the retired orchard and their bookshelf. I can read anything. Next to Joseph's complete set of Encyclopedia Britannica is a soda can with its Next to Joseph's complete set of Encyclopedia Britannica is a soda can with the design of a Fritos corn chip bag. Underneath this novelty, created to celebrate the acquisition of Frito-Lay by PepsiCo, is the computer monitor. I walk into the dining room to see a new feature. We have a home computer? Yes. All technology in my home has the same rule. 30 minutes a day. Books are the exception. The The television lives in my parents' closet. Oh, and we do not have... All technology in my home has the same rule. 30 minutes a day. Books are the exception. The television lives in my parents' closet. Oh, and we do not have... are not connected to the internet. I guess that makes sense. You have to have a phone to connect to the internet. We don't have a telephone. At home, I use the computer to complete my math program. My mother hates math, and my dad doesn't teach us like an instructor. He's all about the music. My hands sweat all the time, a lot. I struggle to play the guitar and rust strings faster than anyone around me. I like math. It is one of the areas of my life at this time where there is a correct answer. At home, I use the computer to complete my math program. My mother hates math, and my dad doesn't teach us like an instructor. He is all about music. My hands sweat all the time, a lot. I struggle to play the guitar and rust strings faster than everyone around me. I like math. It is one of the only areas of my life at this time where there is a correct answer. More importantly, the answers didn't care who was asking the question. I am homeschooled. Most of my community is too. I spend a lot of time in the Porter motorhome. They used to live in a house like ours, but they moved here to be closer to the hospital that we hang out at if we are not at their house. My best friend is sick. My brother used to be sick. Now he is a jerk. I am not worried. During an afternoon of schoolwork, talking about God and music, when Saul suggests that we use his dad's work laptop. During an afternoon of schoolwork, talking about God and music, when Saul suggests that we use his dad's work laptop to look up something she heard about last time he was at chemo. Venga. During an afternoon of schoolwork, talking about God and music, when Saul suggests that we use his dad's work laptop to look up something she heard about last time he was at chemo. Venga. It's the new millennium. Who cares if your parents won't let you? We won't tell them. In my 11 years of life, this had never occurred to me. Isn't that lying? I asked. I don't know. Let's see what the Bible says. Serious. We consult our knowledge of the Bible, outsized due to our fundamentalist upbringing. Do not bear false witness. We are not. We won't lie if they ask. We also will not volunteer information. God seems to be okay with this. I have learned. When God doesn't like something I am doing, he makes my brain feel like it's trying to grow too big for my skull. If I pop my ears continuously, it usually goes away after a few hours. But I get the message loud and clear. This time, nothing. We must be right in his eyes. Good. We open the laptop and place 2 chairs right next to each other so we can both see the screen. By now we are connected to the internet directly into the computer with a cable. It doesn't scream anymore. By now we connect the internet directly into the computer with a cable. It doesn't scream anymore. The 30 minutes a day I dedicate to video games, I usually spend playing Ocarina of Time. I recognize a character selection screen immediately. I hear almost audibly, choose your character. We look around the room. Saul chooses a name I will not disclose because Zanga has an RSS feed that archives old accounts. None of your business. I am Last Cheese Puff. A reference to the stale cheese puff, defiantly solitary. A reference to the stale cheese puff defiantly solitary. A reference to the stale cheese puff defiantly solitary in a Sam's Club container that used to be full of them. We liked the tension of desire and repulsion, the bright orange orb as tempting to look at as the rest had been, preserved by the assumption that unlike the others, this ball of corn byproduct and processed cheese will likely not, and processed cheese the bright a reference to the stale cheese puff, defiantly solitary in a Sam's Club container that used to be full of them. We liked the tension of desire and repulsion, the bright orange orb as tempting to look at as the rest had been, preserved by the assumption that unlike the others, this ball of corn byproduct and processed cheese was likely not going to be pleasant to eat. Which fate is worse, being left behind or eaten? Xanga was a blog platform that would eventually be shut down by the United States Federal Trade Commission for knowingly collecting and transmitting personal data from children. Xanga's platform built on past digital social networking experiments like GeoCities and forums, focusing in on the practice of blogging, or as we understood, keeping a journal on the internet. I journal every day about the Bible and my studies. This will be a piece of cake. Don't write about the Bible, Mikey. This is a journal, not Sunday school. Every day is Sunday school for me, I reply. Saul's tutorial continues. The rules. Log on. Write what is on your mind, and then read your friend's most recent blog entry. Okay, I can do that. I'm nervous. I don't know what. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write if it's not about the Bible. I have never written about anything other than God. Write about myself. I can try. The brief understood, I find my rhythm within the first few weeks. I begin crafting myself online for the first time. Link established, closed system, open world. Let's play. What color is the sky in your world? I would ask later under a different name. Before followers, I had friends. Most of my friends, like Saul, I knew IRL, in real life. Before meeting them, URL, online. Which is to say, everyone I knew online I knew in person. I had met and had fellowship with the whole person. Being a minister helped me meet people. My friends and I continued to meet in person and talk about the things we had always shared under the watchful eyes of our parents and church congregation. We now also met online. And here, we believe, you could have the whole conversation. My blog developed. My following grew. I have so many friends. I would begin without noticing to make friends online. I maintain to this day that a friend can be met online. Like people met in life, not everyone you meet online is your friend. Present day, I am listening to a KERA marketplace report on always online surveillance devices. On an always online surveillance device. I worry about my feed. We are hacking our skulls through responses. We are hacking our skulls Through responses and micro-expressions, we train mathematical formulas that assess our engagement and adapt to maximize the amount of time we spend using the products they project. Who has the aux cable? This disc jockey is trash and lives in a bunker. Friend has been flattened into follower. Relationships to people that I meet in life have also changed. Social documentation and publication now is a required phase before relationship can even begin. Why do I appear on your social media feed every time I see you? Friend as follower, family as content house, consumption. Are you a consumer? What does it mean to be a content creator? Can I opt out? What does it mean to opt in? A few years ago, I wrote an essay titled Hypersurveillance in the